Hamza, I gotta ask you a question, but are you a Messi fan or a Ronaldo fan?
I'm neither. Although
Oh,
I respect them equally, but I think Messi is the better player.
yeah, I respect that. I respect that opinion. For me, it's Ronaldo, but I respect all opinions.
All right, before we start, I wanted to ask, where do you guys want to be on screen when I edit this? You want to be at the top, the bottom, right, left?
I want to cover the whole screen.
Yeah, just do that. You're gonna get a lot of views if you do that.
Is it
Yeah,
just
I
the
think
four
that's
or
fair.
the? Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it just the four of us? All
yeah.
right. All right.
Wait, just one? Oh,
Does anybody
Right
have
now,
a
I'm in
preference?
the top
hold
right.
on. Before you start,
Oh no. Yeah, go ahead.
Nigel, how does my cartoon thing jig like? What is your thoughts?
Nice. Yeah.
Really? Too much tape, maybe?
No.
It doesn't work. Look at the lock, but how's it supposed to open?
Is that a cardboard box with a lock?
It's not even like it's just for design purposes.
Hamza, do you know what a capstone is?
No.
You know the CAS project? Imagine that for STEM kids.
For engineering.
That's his.
No. This is just the model. This is the model. For
I thought that was a real thing.
Tape. The tape is really cool.
Nebby, I really thought that was a real thing because you've been telling me that you were going to try and finesse your way into it.
I finessed it because it doesn't actually work. Like there's nothing like this is just for design purposes. Like I don't even
No,
know
because over the past few weeks, you've been telling me that you're just going to like make a super detailed drawing and then send that in.
Yeah. Oh no, it's gotta be a mark, man. I don't know. I think this looks like acceptable. Man,
That's
shoot.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go into a bag of chips? What is that?
This is my home. These are my siblings. This is
I've
beautiful.
seen your siblings. One of your siblings looks kind of like one of my siblings.
You right?
Little Ethiopian boys all look the same. Like 6-year-old Ethiopian boys.
No cap.
That's kind of racist, yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
It is,
yeah.
but I mean, look at you see Nebby in that picture right there. All 6-year-old Ethiopian boys look just like that. I could bring my little brother over here and he will look just like that.
How much time I came on? In 10 minutes.
Can you guys see me?
Yes,
No.
I can.
We could, but now I can't.
Yeah, you can. I see Hamza.
All right.
Yeah, I see the name Hamza.
I'm just testing this out. This is the first time I've used Zoom on the computer. So.
Whoa. He's
Wow.
first time Zoomer.
Yeah.
We got a noob on our hands.
Got him.
All right, let's get started.
Alright.
A little bit of a time limit. Not
Oh, wait,
too-
wait.
We have to figure out how we're gonna do the intro. We have to figure out like how we have to talk
Oh, we
loud.
started. I'm just gonna keep all that. Why not?
Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Yamanik's podcast. Today we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna let Yamanik explain it. Go ahead, Yamanik.
Dude, you were 3 words away from completing that. All you had to say was best of. It's right here. The title was right there.
I
That's
can't
all you had to say.
Okay, let me just. Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Yamanik Gabo's podcast. This is the best of 2019. Today we have some fantastic guests. We have some new faces, some not so often seen faces. So,
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
on that note, I'm pretty sure last time both of you were on the podcast was when we did the best of 2010s, right?
oh,
I'm pretty
I was-
sure. And in that one, we specifically omitted 2019 because I was kind of scared that if we added 2019, it would just become the best of 2019. Because, okay, do you think, looking back now, that it's still that stacked of a year, as you guys were compiling your list?
It's more stacked than I thought.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember about when we do our orals, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I was talking to Hamza about this, or it might have been before that. And he was like, we both were thinking there were like maybe 5 movies that were really
Yeah.
deserving. And
Now,
then
my top 3 are all competing for first position. They're all tied, in my opinion.
my top
That just goes to show.
4 are like unarguable. Everything from there could be switched, but they're all still amazing. And top 4 all arguably won.
Yeah,
But
hard
Yeah,
time
go
with this one. It was like, man, which movies?
Before we get into that, I wanted to start off a new segment in Cinemaverse where, it's a movie podcast, but there's a lot more media out there. So I kind of wanted to ask each guest that I have on that week what kind of content they've been consuming, anything they want to recommend to the listeners, TV shows, movies, a song that has been stuck in your head, a book that you've been reading, whatever. I'll start off by going all around. Movies wise, I've been kind of just catching up on 2019 stuff I haven't seen, and you'll get whatever recommendations I have later on because we're going to be talking about a good amount of movies. Books wise, I think Hamza's going to be proud of me for one of these. Hamza, I picked up a copy of the autobiography of
nice.
Malcolm X. I plan on reading it sometime next year. But
next year is in like what, a few days?
Yeah.
I at first was really shocked when you said that, but then I realized it's December.
Yeah, but right now I started on. I know at least Hamza's a fan of Dave Chappelle. He has a special where he kind of talks about a story about a pimp, and it was from this book here called Pimp: The Story of My Life, and it was a kind of vicious story that he told, and he can be fairly real sometimes, and it kind of hooked me. And I kind of I've been wanting to reading it for a little bit. I picked it up. I've read the first, I think I'm on like page 20 now. It is a horrific thing. It literally starts off with a 4-year-old him getting raped. It's
4-year-old who?
Him as a 4-year-old.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Dave Chappelle.
Huh?
Dave Chappelle.
No, that's not Dave Chappelle. That's about a pimp, Iceberg Slim.
Oh, okay.
He talked about this in
One second.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough book to read.
Wait, what's it called again?
Pimp: The Story of My Life by Iceberg Slim. Song.
That's crazy.
Nebi, what'd you say?
You really do be reading books.
Yeah, actually, I started reading. I feel like it's probably my lit teacher. I'm not even gonna lie, because I didn't really read that much before I started IB English, and I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't read that much until this past summer, and then once I read The Color of Water, I was like, books can actually be good and enjoyable, and it might have been back with Siddhartha, but I've been checking out a few. I actually, Hamza, I just finished reading the No Country for Old Men. You've seen the movie, right? Yeah, it was originally a book. Exactly the same. I like
really?
Legit. Like the feeling it gives you, that might be one of the best adaptations that I've ever seen because it's legit the same exact thing. There's a segment in the book that's been omitted, but outside of that, it's pretty much the same. And even the Coen brothers, they're like, we just read the book and then typed it up.
Wow.
Song wise, there's only been really one song that's kind of been stuck in my head. It's California Uber Alice by the Dead Kennedys. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard it. If you guys can hear it, I'll play it in the background. And show wise, I finished watching Mindhunter a few. Have any of you ever seen Mindhunter? The show?
No, I've heard of it though. I think my parents watched it actually.
Yeah, Mindhunter is crazy. It's really intriguing. It's about serial killers. It's a very intriguing. It's only about 2 seasons. It is about like a movie per episode. It's about an hour long episodes. I do think it is definitely worth a watch though. I'll keep playing this. Whoever, if you want to say whatever else you've been consuming, go ahead.
Yeah. So I would say definitely don't sleep on some Netflix movies out there. There's some good ones on Netflix I watched. I think what was the recent one that I just watched that wasn't it's not a 2019 movie. I'll come back to it, but if I can get the name again. But also, show-wise, just before the podcast, I was watching Lost. It's on Amazon, and yeah, it's a good one.
I've always wanted to watch Lost.
Yeah, the first
end of it is not worth it though.
Yeah, I've heard.
I've heard that. But
I've heard similar things about Game of Thrones. Whereas it's not like some people were saying just don't watch it because of that.
Yabanek, I think you would really appreciate Game of Thrones from like a film student's perspective. It's really good. Story wise, it's absolutely crap at the end.
Everybody's
it was so hyped that I just decided not to watch it.
Exactly.
Originally, like when it was still airing, I guess. I just decided not to watch it at the time. I mean, I'll probably be like 40 when I decide to watch it.
The movie was The Old Guard. That's what it was on Netflix. That was good.
I've heard of that. I think. Well, what's it about?
I don't know how to say it without spoiling it, but it's like, it's kind of like it's an action movie, you know, where, I mean, it doesn't spoil it because it's the whole premise of the movie, but I can't say it because it kind of, you know, it's got fighting in it. It was good. It was really good.
Group of mercenaries, all centuries old immortals with the ability to heal themselves. Discover.
Yeah, that gives it away, I guess. But yeah,
it's straight away.
These people, you know, they can't die, and that's.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, it's really good. And then song wise, I was gonna tell Neville's too earlier. You know, he's always asking me like what songs and stuff, or like group. You know, The Police, man. I've been listening to like a lot of their songs.
Roxanne. That's a good song.
Roxanne, yeah, and even like they have, you know, those ones that are pretty popular. But what is that one that I've been stuck in my head? Like now I'm put on the spot and I'm forgetting everything. Like Walking on the Moon, I love that one. And then what was that other one?
Can you sing a little bit of like the tune?
Oh, King of Pain. That's the other
I trust your music taste, Nigel.
Yeah.
I do too. Ever since that Led Zeppelin song you recommended, I've been thinking.
Is he the one that recommended you Stairway to Heaven?
I think so. Maybe.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Fantastic song.
I don't think I would
amazing.
recommend that, but of course, it's like, I mean, I feel like.
Yeah, I was like I remember you called me up to do, like look over one of your essays once, and you were talking about Nigel put me onto this song. And then you told me that it was Stairway to Heaven. I was like, how have you never known about that before?
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Maybe it was another, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like all three of you like all listen to like not classical, but like not old classical word, but it's like
classic rock.
Not classic rap, but just like
I think he just means like songs from the 70s, 80s.
Yeah,
like
maybe that. I be listening to
timeless songs.
I don't be listening to, you know, stuff like that.
In my opinion, the more you can listen to and enjoy, the better off you are.
Yeah.
That's for you. Hamza, go ahead.
With what? Oh, the media? All right. So
Hamza is the one that pretty much made me a cinephile. He recommended me so much last year, movie wise. I mean, anything that Hamza even song wise, I'm pretty sure that I was kind of forced to listen to the songs. I'm pretty sure I still am. I don't think I'm off the hook.
Oh wow! Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have reminded me.
I'm gonna tell you that.
Hamza has amazing taste in music.
Oh,
I agree.
Oh wow! Shoot.
So for TV, since that's the first thing on there, what have I been watching in 2020? Oh, I think you're watching it right now, Yabanek. Attack on Titan.
I'm actually.
Fantastic.
Billy told me that he watched it in like 3 days. So I decided to not start it I was gonna start it right after Thanksgiving break. I decided to wait until December break, now, so I can just consume it all in like 3 or 4 days.
Let me know what you think. All right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's probably been the number one for TV shows. I'm not a big TV show watcher, honestly. As for movies, I watch a whole bunch of movies, but one that actually surprised me, I watched really recently, is a movie called Snatched. I don't know if you've seen that, Yabanek.
Snatched or just Snatch?
Snatched.
I know about Snatch. I know Snatch, the heist movie. Don't.
Okay, then it's Snatch. It's Snatch. It's
Oh, Snatch. Yeah, the one with Brad Pitt, the heist movie.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
That one, I've never heard of it at all, and it was really, really good. Surprising.
Nigel, I know you really love The Gentleman, right? You're gonna love it. It's by the same guy directed it. It is
Yeah.
almost the same stylistically. It is, I in my opinion, a better story.
Uh-huh.
It's probably-
You know, I was gonna watch The Gentleman tonight, but I'm doing this podcast instead, so that's why.
That's actually a conversation we were having just before you entered, Hamza, because Nebi currently has like 7 or 8 movies on his list, and he wanted to know if we should add The Gentleman. And I told him if he has to, go ahead. But in the US, it came out in 2020. Nebi, you have anything that you've been consuming before we move on? Do you have anything you've been consuming before we move on?
Zooming. Let me zoom into that list real quick. It says, okay, shows. I've been watching One Piece lately. If I was gonna recommend you, if you've already seen Naruto, I recommend One Piece. But if you haven't even seen any anime, I'm not gonna recommend One Piece until you've watched Naruto. And Hamza, do you watch anime?
Not as much as a lot of people, but yeah.
Yeah.
On that,
I only
note,
watch like the best of the best.
So you seen Naruto?
Yeah, well, I haven't finished it, but yeah.
Oh yeah. What episode are you on?
So I stopped watching it like 2 years ago, but I was on with the Orochimaru when he was like, I think he got defeated, and then that's the last thing I remember.
Did you leave because of fillers?
I don't know. I'm just bad with watching long shows.
Yeah.
I was the same with One Piece. I watched One Piece like a good 200 episodes, and then I just stopped.
There's like 900 episodes in One Piece, so I mean, for me, that means I have a lot more to look forward to. There's a lot more story development that can happen. With movies, I actually tried to watch La La Land recently, and I literally couldn't watch the second half of the movie. But that's probably the first movie I couldn't finish. And
Yeah,
to be
I've heard
honest,
very mixed things about La La Land. I
I
know.
personally
Yasmin
really
loves
like
La
it.
La Land.
I love it. I personally do.
yeah, I understand why you love it, but like, I think the choreography is nice, but the story and the characters,
I can get that. Yeah, the story is probably the one thing that most people are most. It is a very. I can't think of the word now, so I'm just gonna let you speak.
Basic.
Yeah, I was gonna say white centric, where it's not that relatable.
Oh yeah, yeah. You told me that it would be relatable to me because it's like,
Yeah, because you're always talking about how you want to be an actor, so I was thinking that you would relate to it.
yeah. Parasite is.
Oh yeah, I made him watch Parasite for this. Like I said, you can't join unless you watch that.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it is on your list. Don't say anything as of now.
For your video, your movies you watched over the summer, Whiplash, I really want to watch that. Like I heard a little about it, but after seeing your review, it's at the top of my list. So, was that made in 2019?
No, it was made in 2014.
Oh, okay.
But
no, that's why I mentioned. I thought it was in 2019.
like it was same thing with La La Land. As much as I like it, Whiplash is, in my opinion, like exponentially better, and that speaks to how much I like Whiplash.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nebi.
I want to recommend some music. I'm gonna recommend Kanye West. I'm gonna recommend
The Preacher.
The Weeknd.
The Preacher.
Yeah. Huh?
The Preacher.
The Preacher.
The Father.
I'm gonna recommend Dark Twisted Fantasy, The Life of Pablo. I'm gonna recommend those albums.
Did you listen to all of My Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Yeah. I mean, like the movie too. Yeah,
I have a little bit more respect for you now because last time you recommended me a song, that's like a 9-minute prelude to the entire album, and then you're like, "This is the most fire song," and I was like, "You have to listen to the whole album." So I'm happy you did.
Yeah, that's basically like this month is when like I first started listening to Kanye's music.
Yeah, but if you really, I mean, I'm not gonna say if you really like Kanye. If you do like rap in general, I would recommend you listen to Pimp a Butterfly. It's the Kendrick Lamar one. I genuinely think it's just one of the greatest albums to ever come out.
You know,
speaking of albums, I've got since we're talking about songs, I just listened to one, Kid Cudi's new album is pretty good.
I've heard
Oh,
a lot of good things about it.
no, bro. You know, Mario Judo album is the best, man. The best album that came out recently. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely not.
What? You don't know Mario Judah? Oh my
Nah,
god.
y'all shouldn't listen
Oh,
to AJ
that
Fish.
dude.
He's the best one.
His music is actually fine.
You know, I didn't know who this was, and then Mahir just sent me a link to him out of nowhere, and I didn't even know it was him. I clicked it. It was this one. Die Very Rough. Like I didn't know this was what I was in for.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I died laughing. It's just
Yeah.
one of the best things I've ever seen.
Everybody.
But Nebi's impression, that's exactly how he sounds. That's crazy. Like
Oh, I
Nebi's
thought that was
impression is
I thought that was the music video.
Wow.
That's talent.
Originally, I did kind of want to take a look at 2020 as a year first. I think we kind of did that here. If you guys
2019, you
want-
mean?
No, I like in the just 2020 movies in general. I mean, I can still go ahead and ask. I mean, is there anything 2020 wise that I doubt you guys have seen a whole bunch since we're confined?
I mean, yeah. That one that I mentioned earlier.
The Old Guard.
The Old Guard, yeah.
I'm gonna use this as a moment to. I am gonna make a best of 2020 list on my main channel. So I'm not gonna say anything about this now. But if there anything that you guys have seen 2020 wise, aside from The Gentleman, since we already did an episode about that.
Do movies that we've seen in 2020 but were made in much earlier years count?
No.
That's a shame.
Oh, I'm telling you now, the movie industry is gonna change big time after 2020. The theater industry after Disney is making like Disney Plus and like I feel like movies
And
aren't gonna be.
You guys,
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
well,
Mandalorian. I watched that.
how good? I mean, I'm not a super big Star Wars fan, so I decided not to watch
I
that.
don't. If you're not a Star Wars fan, I don't think you'd like it.
Okay.
No, wait. Why aren't you a Star Wars fan? Like, have you seen the?
I mean, I really like the original trilogy. I think those are just amazing.
I have to think
After that,
Have you seen Rogue One? Like I agree with you, but I like Rogue One.
I mean, maybe after that, like the rest just are kind of a blur. I know for sure I've seen 3 of the ones that came after the original trilogy. I don't know which 3 they are though. Rogue One's probably like that's just how I feel about the rest. That just perfectly encapsulates it. It's just they're there, and I probably have seen them, but I have no idea what they really are.
Star Wars just makes me like. It's just sad to see like. I remember like me here and them showed me like the old Star Wars when they had like this amazing like choreography with the swords, and then like I watched like the new Force Awakens, and I don't know why they don't do stuff like that. You know, like with cool sword fights. Tell me why.
The whole new trilogy is a bigger mess than anything I've ever seen in my life. In my opinion.
Oh damn! Yeah, I wouldn't even disagree.
I can't say anything. Well, I guess let's get into 2019. Before we get into the movies, how was 2019? Because you know, everybody's hating 2020. How was 2019 for you guys, just as in life? Like, was it
It seems like it was a lifetime ago.
Weird.
It's weird to think that Corona has happened this long.
Yeah.
I actually have a question. For some reason, the year 2016 always feels like it's like a year back. Like it just happened a year ago for some reason. Like that number, just 2016, it just feels like it just happened. But it's been 4 years since
A
then.
great year, so I understand why.
I know. I mean, I'm not gonna say why it was a great year. I'm gonna get roasted, or not roasted. I'm gonna get canceled.
Whoa. Okay. So,
I'm playing.
you know, I have a question. Dang, I can't. You know, Nigel, you haven't said much yet. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say 2019 was a good year. And if you think about it, it was just before COVID hit, too. And I mean, like, you know, even like a few months before, man, that was the best, like, second semester of, you know, what was it? last
Last-
year or
Last year, yeah, second
yeah,
semester
yeah.
of 11th grade. Oh no, that would be first 10th grade second semester was 2019.
Really?
Pretty sure because
Oh.
11th grade second semester has not
Okay,
even-
then what I mean is
Oh wait, no, wait,
first semester.
No,
of
you're right,
11th
Gavin. You're right.
yeah. I was starting
first
to confuse
semester.
myself.
Yeah, first semester of 11th grade. Yeah, that was good. And second semester,
Yeah.
but yeah,
You got
because like that was when we were just hitting that age where we had the
FLC
freedoms,
is still
we
the
could go
only
out.
TSA trip I've been on, and
Yeah.
I mean I wrote my UGA essay, one of them about FLC. It was a wonderful time. I went personally. Some of the reasons why some of my movies are in certain places are because of experiences I had in 2019, how much they resonated with me at the time, and how they still resonate with me then. So I'll just leave it right there and just say it was a really good year for me.
Bro, I remember every day, like just going down to the TSA room, and then I would just think to myself, "This is the best life can get." Like I actually thought I was living the best possible life, but I just loved everything. Like everything was
And
going.
it has all been documented on Neb the Hub.
Yeah, and like I
Oh,
still
yeah.
like now, but I just missed the homie. But shoot, but even straight, but back then,
I
we were
like
balling.
that. I like that about you because the whole thing is that most people don't realize how good they have it until something like this kind of hits.
Yeah.
But I mean, you in the moment, you're living in the moment.
Yeah, I know that. Even now, though, it's like staying home all day, Xbox, video games. Like we're gonna look back and be like, we had so much time to just spend to ourselves. Like, this is probably the life. This is probably even better. Probably not. Yeah, probably not though. But dang, I might get canceled for saying that too, though.
Man,
No, I mean, it was just yesterday or the day before that I was like, wow, 2020 is going to come to an end. And everybody before was saying like, oh yeah, New Year's is going to be great because we're going to be celebrating the end of 2020, not necessarily like, of course we'll be looking forward to 2021, but we're going to be forgetting 2020. That's what's going to
I
happen.
realize. I mean,
So 2020 will happen in 2021. If that's
It will kind of, but we can forget 2020. And just 2 days ago, I was like, wow, actually kind of, now it's like, I don't know, just working every day. And it's been rough. My classes, my just work. So
guy
I'm ready.
Nigel has a whole job and he's working overtime. He's out here
Yeah.
10-hour-a-day shifts, and I'm
It's
over here
crazy.
watching movies all day.
Man, I wish, but that's what I look forward to. So not only is it like, hopefully, COVID will get better, but like, it's just a lot is going to be so much better next semester. Way less classes for me, and less rigor in the classes. I didn't say that, but
He's trying to make sure that tech doesn't let him go.
no, I'm kidding. But yeah, so it should be, less stress, and I'm gonna be quitting in 4 weeks, and
Whoa,
so yeah, it's a lot, and hopefully,
spicy.
So yeah, have more time, can watch movies actually, but yeah, I've got some good ones for 2019. So
2020 went by
it did.
kind of fast. I mean, it didn't.
not for me.
I mean, obviously, it like went by. I'm not slow, at least for me. Yeah, it feels like it went by fairly quickly. Like it feels like March. Like it feels like we just left school.
Everything
Not like
started-
just, but like it doesn't feel like we left school 9 months ago. Like
I know.
It went in March.
I
but-
disagree,
obviously, it's
but
subjective. Go ahead,
Crazy.
Hamza.
as the dude says, that's just your
Just your
opinion.
opinion, man.
That's just your opinion.
That's just like your opinion, dude.
When you say it like that, I'm like, wow, it has been almost a year. It's felt like a semester, not a year. It's
In
crazy.
2021, maybe it is for you guys too because we're all in the same class. I feel like I've been looking forward to 2021 as like the graduation year for like 9 or 10 years now. 'Cause, we've always been the class of 2021.
Yeah. Dang. We'll
Yeah.
have to wait someday.
Yeah, I guess we should be glad we're not the class of 2020. That
Oh,
used to
yeah.
sound good, like, ooh, 2020, too,
Right.
nice. And now you look back at it, you're like, dang.
I mean,
I mean,
we're
we
21.
honestly had a
There's a whole
rougher
meme
year
about
than
us.
them, but What's that?
There's a whole meme about us. What is it again? What's 9 plus 10?
Oh, wow. That is a legendary meme.
Yeah.
What?
What's 9 plus 10? 21. 1.
Yeah.
Now, movies wise, we were talking about it a little bit before. I mean, it is a stacked year. 2019, not 2021, 2019. That was like I saw 37 films from last year. Well, since all the films that came out, I've seen 37 of them. And I genuinely think at least 31 of them were at least okay. Like they were viable. And I think 29 of them were at least good. With, I think, my number 29 spot being Zombieland Double Tap, which in and of itself is a pretty good movie.
You said 29?
29 at least, like, good movies.
The good movie. Yeah, how does that work? Like, how did you get those movies? Like you said, there were 30-something movies?
There were, like, a lot. Oh, the list that I gave you, that was just, like, a list to start off with.
From that list. I got you.
From that list, there's even more that I had watched. I didn't put everything because some of the movies I watched were garbage. Because I'm not gonna put the Medea movie or the whichever one came out last year. I'm not gonna put that up there. I feel like that would be a waste of time.
Yo. We're gonna do a little quick special thing. I guess I'm gonna do it right now at 11. I'm gonna go see my AP scores. Or not my AP, but SAT scores.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I haven't seen it yet.
So now I
just
can add
checked my
plus
grades for
SAT reaction on this video.
Nice.
Clickbait.
Plus, I got my grades in earlier for my fall semester. I was surprised. I was telling Yabo earlier. I was like, wow.
Boy, Nigel out here. First of all, Nigel's taking multivariable calculus.
Yeah.
He's out here I'm out here taking AP calculus, and I thought I was a good dude. I thought I was going above and beyond. This guy's out here talking about derivatives and vectorization and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he had an A. He got an A in the class.
We got an A. Oh wow.
Multivariable calculus. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Calc 3. Ooh, that was a tough class though.
Work shift? That's nice. That's really nice.
I'm pretty sure Nigel's just not going to have school once he gets to college. You've taken like 10 dual classes at this point.
Yeah, he saved up all his Hawaiian shirts for when he's chilled at the beach next year.
I forgot about the Hawaiian.
I forgot about those two. I mean, the picture that Nevi is showing now. If Nigel's in there, he's definitely wearing a Hawaiian shirt. There's no. I mean, we were on a trip. There's no way he wasn't wearing that shirt. If you're in the picture.
Of course. Yeah, I think I'm right to the side. I think I was like over here, and Nobles is like here, and I was looking at the picture.
Hey, before I look at my score, what are your predictions? My prediction, I hope I just get maybe 1,300.
Yeah, I'm thinking you'll get like a 1,330.
So this is the score you're considering submitting to UGA, right?
Yeah, it's 1,300. I mean, maybe
so.
actually be 1,400 because Yavnik was talking to me about it.
I mean, yeah. Well, see, yes and no, because I didn't submit my score, and now after being accepted, it's like wow.
I mean, they said they're not supposed to consider.
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I was worried about it. But then I was like, that shows that's good.
Yeah, I see my score, bro. Guess what I got?
1,360.
Guess what I got?
I don't think Jesus is here.
Let's see.
Did you say my name?
Yeah, he said, guess what he got?
Guess what I got,
1,350.
Bro, what? Come on. Okay, I actually got a 1,270 again.
No way, again?
Yeah, I got the same.
I didn't know
you got the same score back to back?
Yes, but I got like a different ratio with math and bro.
Oh, super score. Super score. What's your score? Super score.
Oh, my phone is on Zoom. Okay.
Did you get a higher math score this time?
Yeah. I knew I was gonna get a high math score.
Okay, if you super score, you might be able to hit 1,300.
Oh, you're right. Let me see.
Wow.
I do 6.
Coming in clutch.
6 plus 5 equals
650.
That's exactly 1,300.
Oh no, it's a 1,310 actually.
Oh, that's even better.
Nice.
That's nice.
Nice. You're submitting those, Nevels.
I'm submitting it. Maybe not for tech or Maybe not even for UGA, but
I mean, I don't think it'll hurt if you submit it to UGA.
you're right. I'm considering. But let's get back to the show.
All right, a little detour. We're just gonna go ahead and start going into our list now. We got a whole preface, and then we talked about 2019, and then we talked about 2020, and then we talked about 2021. By the way, happy holidays to all the people that are watching.
Right.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and give our honorable mentions. First, I'm gonna start off with Nebby. Do you even have honorable mentions?
No, these are I literally only have like 6 or 8 on the list.
Okay, Nigel.
Yeah, I have some honorable mentions, and maybe I would prefer to go after, but I'll list
I'm
these
fine with that.
honorable mentions. But the reason I say that is because I got to see kind of what movies are on there, because I was thinking about pushing these up,
Oh,
just because
I'm
I
cool
got
with
a
that.
lot.
I
But
have a good amount too.
Honorable mentions. So I got these are some ones that I watched, but I was like, I don't know. Us, Shazam, and John Wick 3. Were those on any of you guys' lists?
Well, we're
No.
gonna find out.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say no because those are also in my honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are 11 deep, and they are actually ranked. At 21, I have Booksmart. Have any of you seen Superbad?
No.
If you know about Superbad, it's like the female version of
McLovin.
Superbad. Yeah, McLovin. At 20, I have Us. At 19, I actually have Joker. At 18, I have I Lost My Body, which is a very short animated film on Netflix. I would recommend anybody watch it.
You said 19th Joker?
Yes, I have Joker at 19. I know at least one of you has it in your actual top 10, so I'll talk about why I have it at 19 once we get there. At 17, I have Toy Story 4, which I would have put higher, but I didn't really see it as that necessary of a film. I think that Toy Story 3 is like just I think Toy Story is the best Pixar film and one of the greatest animated films ever. Toy Story 4, not that necessary, but it's really good. At number 16, I have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. At 15, I have John Wick 3, which I would have loved to put that on there, but it's such a good film. I remember seeing it with you guys, actually. I remember seeing it with Nigel, Nebby, Billy, and Andrew. At 14, I have Hamza, you're going to be kind of surprised, but I have Jojo Rabbit at 14.
I'm not that surprised.
Okay. I know you're going to be surprised by this one, though. At 13, I have 1917.
That is surprising.
At 12, I have The Last Black Man in San Francisco. And this one might be even more surprising. At 11, I have Avengers Endgame.
Wow.
No way. You, a Marvel fanatic.
I will get even more into that one because I know it's on somebody's list. I actually want to. Well, I don't need to talk about the others. I'll go ahead. Honorable mentions. Hamza.
I
don't have to be
write down, but I think okay. So my honorable mentions are The Farewell. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice wholesome movie. That's yeah.
I'll get.
I don't know
more
what
into
else
that.
to say. Huh?
I'll get more into that.
So you have that on your list then?
Yeah, I do.
Then I have The Lighthouse.
Ooh, I also have that on my list. I'm not.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That movie, I'd say, is very strange. It wasn't the most enjoyable movie, but it was very vibey, and I appreciated that. And honestly, vibe is what makes the movie, in my opinion. That's why Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies. And then I also have The Irishman.
Okay, I really came close. It was really between I'll say The Irishman, another movie, and Endgame to kind of get at those two spots, and Endgame got kicked out.
And yeah, I guess all the movies that you said. Endgame is also honorable mentions, and Toy Story 4, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, if you actually do want to hear more about John Wick 3, because I don't think it might be on Nebby's list, you can go check out the most exciting movies bracket
It's on my list.
podcast. Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Well, either way, you can check it out. It'll be linked in that I thing up there. Did Nebby said he didn't even have honorable mentions?
Yeah, he said he only has like 6.
Yeah, he barely has enough to reach the list. Nebby's okay.
Like some of the ones that were on your list, I didn't include, like Toy Story and Shazam. So
Okay.
I'm actually up to 10 picks.
Oh, okay, perfect. Actually, Hamza, I wanted to ask you a question. Last week was actually technically today, because today is December 18th, and this will be coming out December the 25th, Christmas Day, actually. Or it might come out December 26th. I might not release on Christmas. We talked about how many films would be in our like necessarily favorites or like top, just like the best films of all time for personal picks.
Mm-hmm.
How many just do you think would be in your list?
In 2019?
No, just like of all time. Because both me and Billy said that just in general, like this is kind of unrelated. I just wanted to get your opinion on this. It's just, you know how there are all these 100 greatest films of all time, 250 greatest films of all time on IMDb,
sure.
all that stuff. How many films that you have seen would make a list of that type for you?
Oh, like how many films would I consider to be
Just amazing, like all time
amazing?
great.
I have no clue. Probably 100, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That just feels like the right number. Nebby said
I'm
he
pretty
would be
sure
like
I've seen
20 or
100 good
25.
movies. So
I feel like once Nebby said that it's only roughly 20 or 25, I was like, I think that we need to put him on to a bit more movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about it though, and I don't want to think about it, so that's why I haven't thought about it.
Don't
So-
think about it.
This list was so difficult.
Since Nigel's back, Nigel, do you have any more honorable mentions before we move on to our actual picks?
Not really. It's just there's so many movies. It's just hard to think about them, or hard to get all of them. But I don't know. I don't know. That
Oh,
makes sense.
wait. I'm sorry. Can we go back to the media we consumed in 2020? I have 2 movies
Go
to
ahead.
recommend.
Go ahead.
And these aren't your typical movies. They're actually anime movies. And usually I've heard anime movies are bad, but these 2 are really, really good.
Oh,
This
Gonna write this
Akira
down.
and
Oh.
Ghost in the Shell.
You saw Akira?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Have you?
Yeah.
Fantastic movie in my opinion.
Amazing.
And Ghost in the Shell. Not the live action remake, the original. Made in like 1990s.
I'm gonna get that second one now. You said Ghost in the Shell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dogs
Don't
had
watch
a.
with your family around, Yamane.
Well, Yabba's still gonna do it, bro.
What?
He said he wants around your family.
I mean, I don't. He was very surprised because. Well, I'll get into this later when we get to this movie. Actually, I mean, I guess let's get into our actual picks. Starting off with number 10. The way that this is gonna work, each of us will go one by one. We'll list it. We'll maybe give a brief description of why it's so great, and then we'll keep on moving on. Number 10. If I can start off, or if there's anybody else that wants to start this, like.
Wait, hold on. I'm writing my list.
All right, I'll go ahead and start. At number 10, I have Ford versus Ferrari.
How long we known each other, Ken? I ever break a promise to you? I will put you in the driver's seat at Le Mans. You just shut your mouth and let me do my thing. All right. Come here.
Morning, Shelby.
Morning, Molly. Whoop yours. I'll go to hell.
Which originally I wasn't super keen on having this in my list. I think up until like an hour and a half ago, this was right outside this, like at the number 15 spot. I rewatched it yesterday, and I realized why it's so great. And that's just those last 2 acts. The first act can get pretty slow, but the last 2 acts are just super. It's so entertaining. It's so fun. It was nominated for 6 of the 6 Oscars. I mean, it won Best Editing, won Best Sound Editing. It somehow won Best Sound Editing, but did not win Best Sound Mixing, which it's already kind of weird that those are 2 separate things. But it's an amazing film. I would say that the 3 that were really on edge, or not even 3, I would really say it was between this and Avengers Endgame for the 10th spot. The thing that made me put this one over Endgame is just that it's a better piece of cinema. It's better directed overall. Endgame and this have that problem of that first few acts really getting boring, and you're gonna go back to the movie. You might just want to watch that third act. Because I can't lie, I don't think I have gone back and watched Endgame in its entirety. I've seen like the third act of Endgame, maybe like 5 times at this point. The first 2 acts of Endgame I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of boring at times. That second act isn't horrible. We talked a lot about this in the MCU podcast. Go check that one out. This one, it has a similar problem. The first act isn't as unbearable, and it's just better made, in my opinion. That's my number 10, Ford versus Ferrari. Nebby, you said you just got to 10. What is it that has that 10 for you?
That was on my number 10 list is Toy Story 4.
Everyone, Bonnie made a friend in class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Forky.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
He's a spork.
Yes, yeah, I know.
Hey. And to be honest, I don't remember much.
Actually, before we do move on, I forgot to say, whenever somebody does say a movie, to conserve some time, if that movie is also on your list, go ahead and say that it's on your list and say what number it would be on your list.
All right, then I got Ford versus Ferrari on my list.
Do you know where it would be, or are you still figuring?
Yeah, no, I know where it would be. It's number 7 on mine.
Okay. Do you want to say anything before we get into?
I disagree with you about it being a tale of two halves. I really liked the entire movie, so I didn't just
not necessarily two halves. I think that the first act. I don't think the first act is bad. I think that the first act can get a bit boring and a bit too expositional.
Well, have you rewatched the movie?
Yeah, I rewatched it yesterday.
And that's probably why. When I first watched it, it was good the whole way through. I really liked Christian Bale's character.
Oh, the character-wise, amazing acting from both Bale and Damon in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've heard about this movie, the one with Christian Bale and Matt Damon.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Mm-hmm. One more thing between them and Endgame, I feel like they were both called crowd pleasers. Endgame is probably much more of a crowd pleaser, but this is fairly feel good movie. The ending kind of strays away from that feel good.
Kind of strays away.
Kind of. But it still leaves you with a feeling of happiness at the end, or at least something. Maybe you were at 100% at one point, and then something in the ending kind of chipped away that 90%, and then it came back a little bit. Nebby, Toy Story 4. Do you really remember nothing about it?
I remember. Okay, was it the one with the Peppa Bear?
Nah, that's Toy Story.
No, that's 3. Toy Story 4 is the one with the sport.
Okay. To be honest, I'm not a fan of the Toy Story franchise.
Oh yeah, I don't like it because of that. I contemplated not being friends with him when he said that.
Bro, I hate the way they draw humans in this.
Dude, no, the thing is that's only for the first movie. It's not that bad throughout. He hates what's his name? You remember the villain from the first one, that little kid?
Yeah.
He hates him. He was just creeped out by him, and that makes sense.
Bro, all of them, but just the human figures, it's unwatchable. It's blasphemy. It's blasphemy on the human.
It's blasphemy.
So yeah.
Sound like Stephen A. Smith.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, but I have Ford versus Ferrari as my 6. It was hard for me to rank these, and get a good ranking, and I still could question it.
Same.
And if I and not looking at this, I probably would come up with a different ranking. But it's my number 6. I think it was a really good movie, and that the endings too, and just like you said, you got to watch it, and then it's like once you step away from it, come back to it, then it's like wow, it was a good movie. It was surprisingly good.
Every single race scene just puts you in. It just has you in a trance that you really can't get out of.
Oh, have you seen what's that other movie that I told you to watch after Ford versus Ferrari? Rush? I think it's called Rush.
Yeah, Rush.
Have you seen it yet?
So. No.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
I don't think.
Nebby, Well, you know, Toy Story 4 is my number 17. I kind of talked about it's that low for me because I don't think it was necessary.
Yeah.
But it's really good. I mean, I think it might have won Best Animated Feature last year. It is a really beautiful movie just to like look at. Like if you don't remember anything, I feel like that's the one thing you might remember. It's if you're saying that Toy Story, the original Toy Story, kind of creeped you out. This one, colors wise, the way that they did it, it's probably the most realistic. From a filmic point of view, it's a wonderful film to watch.
Yeah, I don't know about a kid liking Toy Story.
Wow, look at those pixels.
Whoa. The detail. Hey, look at the humans, bro. Look at the humans, and then all your audience would understand.
Oh, I mean, if you don't remember Toy Story 4, I feel like you might like this one more because it isn't that human centric. There are barely any humans throughout it. This one is very toy centric, and then there's that one kid that's just being annoying all the way through.
Yeah, and even though my Toy Story is higher on my list than your list, that's only because I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few here that I'm pretty sure if you had seen Toy Story would move out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also.
And Hamza, what's your number 10?
Oh, mine is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm Rick Dalton. It's my pleasure, Mr. Schwartz.
Call me Marvin. Put it there. That your son?
No, it's my stunt double, Cliff Booth.
And honestly, I reconsider this. I change it for The Farewell, but I'll still talk about it anyway. The reason why I am changing it, though, is because how they portrayed Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is much better than that. So that's why I got demoted. And I already spoke on The Farewell. It was very, very nice and wholesome.
For Cliff Booth, the character of Brad Pitt,
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he did that thing with his wife? Because I know that completely changes your perception, or not just like how good you think the film was, but just like what direction, what story you really perceive
Wait, do
throughout
I think he did what?
You know that thing that he allegedly did to his wife, who is no longer around.
Cliff Booth. Which one is that? Is that
Brad Pitt? Brad Pitt.
Well, because I didn't remember it, clearly no. So.
I have it pretty low actually. I have it at 16. It might be the same thing. It's like a really chill movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with it is that it doesn't have an engaging story. Like the characters are nice. Like it's the setting. It's very chill, but there's nothing that captures you, in my opinion. And I even knew the whole story of what's her name, Sharon Tate, and I still didn't find it that entertaining. The story, and especially for a Tarantino movie, I was pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I feel that aside from the last 20 minutes, I'm not even sure how much Tarantino this is. Like, I don't feel that it's like, we talk about and when we talk about individual movies, we used to have a category called directorial stamp, and Tarantino distinctly has one. I'm not sure how much it was there for the first like 2 acts there, and just like you're saying, I think that I was engaged with the Brad Pitt storyline. The Sharon Tate storyline, I don't even get why that was there.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure. And then I get bored anytime we went back to Leonardo DiCaprio. I got pretty bored with that.
Well, like I said, I like the characters. I mean, I liked them enough for it to be originally in my number 10 spot. That got replaced by The Farewell.
Yeah, I think
that's on your list. Would you care to talk about that?
I kind of want to hold on for a second with that one. Nigel, what's your number 10?
So my number 10 here, and I apologize for going off screen. I have food. I'm starving, but I didn't want to eat on camera.
But
I'm like
The Farewell. The Farewell. Yeah.
Okay.
But no. But I have my number 10. Avengers Endgame.
inevitable.
You know, I don't know. It's a good movie, and everybody says it's good, and that's why it feels like it has to go higher. But because of that, I'm like, I can accept it at my number 10 because everybody else hypes it up. You know, they know how good it is, so I'll keep it at my number 10.
It's in both. Your camera's like all black.
Who,
For
me?
both,
Oh.
no, for Nebby.
No,
For
no.
both me and Hamza, it's in our honorable mentions. Nebby, is Endgame on your list?
Oh yes. Let me tell you what Endgame is on my list.
What number?
Number 4.
I can't see that.
Number 4.
Yeah,
Endgame.
that's number 4.
It was just actually when I went back to watch the trailer, like that movie was super hype. Like that's all I gotta say. And it was just it delivered on the third act. Yavnik is right, and I haven't seen too many 2019 movies. So honestly, like my 2019 movies, I don't think 2019 movies were that good, to be honest. I know y'all
Oh,
talking
it's
about
because you haven't seen them all. Once we start getting deep into the top 10, I feel like you're not. There are gonna be some that I'm gonna make you watch, like I made you watch Parasite.
agreed. But you know, Endgame was hype. It was hype. I respected it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Endgame. I was really compelled to put Endgame on the list just because of like what it means. Like it's genuinely, it's literally the biggest cinematic event of all time.
yeah.
It was. I mean, would you guys are like what other movies
No,
are
I mean,
would you say?
I can see how you say that.
I mean, maybe
There's
I would say so.
like
there's a Avengers movie in my number 1 spot.
oh really? Oh,
Just
well,
just to say that. I mean, in-game
Well,
maybe at my
okay.
10 spot.
As of right now,
There's some-
there's only 2 other of Marvel movies that came out, and it's one or the other. And if it is the other, I'm gonna be a bit pissed. So I'm gonna assume that it's just the one. I mean, the third act once again is just undoubtedly just the best part of it, and it's great. And you know, everybody, I've probably seen the. I mean, I feel we can spoil Endgame. Captain America getting the hammer. I've probably seen it like 1,000 times. It's a good movie. It's just not as good cinematically as the rest of the ones on my list.
Yeah, I don't like Marvel, but I respect it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm like a huge Marvel fan too. So
It was long, you know. I guess that's kind of one thing. So it's harder to rewatch a longer movie and get into it. But
and also,
Unless you're Yavanek, who can rewatch anything.
yeah, I genuinely can't.
Yeah.
I don't know where I find the time. What I actually, this is gonna sound contradictory to the fact that I don't have it on the list. I'm gonna for every movie that I have here, I'm gonna talk about what they did getting for the Oscars or what they didn't, just because why not? I know people just try and say the Oscars isn't important. I argue that it is because I mean millions of people watch it each and every year, and they use it as a stamp to what they should watch. I feel Endgame should have been nominated for Best Picture just because of what it meant. Like Avatar was nominated. I feel if Avatar can be nominated, and I think Endgame is a bit better than Avatar.
Nah.
I feel Endgame.
Lots of people would disagree with you there, Yavanek.
I know lots of people would, but I really do think that Avatar is just an average film, above average film,
Bro, no.
maybe above
That
average.
came out, bro. And think about like just the cinematic masterpiece that it was. Like it's literally still amazing. Like the visuals to this day.
I don't. Are you talking about Endgame?
No, Avatar.
Yeah, for the time it was fantastic.
Yeah.
If you watched it recently, I guess I kind of.
I mean, I
maybe
watched it a
understand.
while back. I watched it a while back, and I didn't even like it when I was like 10.
Oh, what?
I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Guess I gotta quote the dude again and say that's just your opinion.
Am I-
First off, those blue ladies were badly bred. So Oscar winning baddies performance. That's all I gotta say. But yo,
Hubs, where did you have Ford vs Ferrari again? 7 or 6?
7.
And Nigel, you had it at 6.
I had it. Let me check that. Yes, I had it at 6.
Okay. Anybody want to go ahead and give their number 9?
you sure? I'll go. My number 9 is Shazam.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Wait, for real? Sorry, okay. Shazam?
Respect.
And once again, this is a movie I don't like.
Just man.
I don't know what this movie's trying to be because it's not funny. It is just not enjoyable, to be honest.
Really?
But
I enjoyed Shazam.
yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah, I
kind of
remember
funny.
Yabnik hyping it up.
Yeah, Yabnik overhyped this movie. It was just
Oh, that might have been one. Did you watch it after or before I talked about it with you? I really like Shazam. I mean, once again, the ending got it sucked. Not even the ending sucked. I didn't like the ending.
see his face and
Oh, actually, now I'm thinking, I don't even remember the ending. All I remember about the ending is that it sucked.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Aside from that, it was nice. It was nice. Liked it.
Yeah. This movie was for like 6th graders.
After I say that, I'm pretty sure I have it at like 28 on my list. So that might not. But once again, I said there were like 28 at least good films that I watched.
Yeah. It was my honorable mention, and that's because, I mean, okay, to be honest, I did fall asleep during it, but I fall asleep during a lot of things. My favorite shows. Just earlier before the podcast, I was watching a show that I fell asleep for that I like, but it was just, sometimes I can't control it, working long days. It's tiring. But that also plays into like how much you enjoy a movie. I fell asleep like right in the middle and then woke up for the end, but I saw like the whole beginning. But like Neville said, it was weird because I thought it was going to be really funny, but it wasn't really, really funny. It's just kind of, so I guess maybe it wasn't so bad. It was just not what I expected, Like
Nigel, you should become a lumberjack. I don't know why. I feel like you like if you just like you should become a lumberjack. I feel like everything but your size works as a lumberjack. You got the hair and then you're white and everything else works as. And aren't you like Swiss? Don't you have a Swiss passport?
I'm a Swiss citizen.
Yeah, he's a Swiss citizen.
He's a citizen.
Now, I mean, you should be a lumberjack.
Actually, did you have to like you have to take a test, right, to become a Swiss citizen?
No, it depends. I mean, it depends on like I guess your status and stuff. But since my dad's Swiss, then I don't have to take a test. But
number 9.
What did you say?
What's your number 9?
What's your number 9?
What is your number 9?
The Joker.
And finally, in a world where everyone thinks they can do my job, check out this guy.
When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
Okay.
Honestly, I think this movie is very overrated. But that one scene where he's there with Robert De Niro at the end, that just made the movie 10 times better, in my opinion.
To me, it's that one scene with the
build up
midget.
to that scene was really, really nice after that scene occurred.
Yeah, that scene was lit.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think kind of the premise of why he became who he was not so clearly portrayed in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you always thought of him as kind of messed up, but the build up didn't really mean anything until that scene, in my opinion. So
I kind of don't want to say where that movie is on my list because it is a very high location.
Mm.
But I'm gonna do it anyways. This is my number 1 movie of 2019.
I have a lot to say about that.
And honestly, that's just because I just had a nice time watching it. Like, I saw it in theaters, like almost when it came out. And Endgame, I had a terrible experience watching it in theaters, and this one was probably one of the best experiences. And that twist literally was mind-boggling. And like I saw it with some friends, and it made memories. And this is definitely like the best movie of like. It's better than Endgame. It's better than The Gentleman, Shazam. Like it's just better in every way. It's just better.
I mean, it might be the best superhero movie of the year. No, I wouldn't put it over. Personally, I wouldn't put it over Endgame.
What? But Okay. Think about this though. Every act of the Joker is better. Okay, maybe not the third act, but even the
But
twist.
it's like, okay, every act of the Joker might get the Joker like 5 points, but it's like the first 2 acts of Endgame gets it 5 points overall. You know, it's 5 to 15, 5 to 10 at that point, and then the third act gets it like the 15 points that it needs to beat it. It's
Nah, bro. I mean, sure. I mean,
the Joker is like it's a good film. I when I first watched it, I was very enticed. I really couldn't take my eyes off the screen, and then that midget scene. I know you guys are talking about that final one. The midget scene is the one that I found to be super tense, and it was really good.
That midget
yeah,
scene
there
was
so many good scenes. There were so many tense scenes, funny scenes, scary scenes, twist scenes. There was a lot of scenes in this movie. Remember, he was on stage telling jokes, and you felt bad for him.
Okay, originally I have it at like 19. I have it at 19. I would move it up if on a rewatch if I still like it. I can see myself liking it more. I feel like I've had it's been like almost a year since I've seen it. Might like it if I rewatch it, but for now it's not on my list.
Oh, yeah.
Nigel, on your list.
My number 9. So this one's number 9. The Joker. Well, the Joker's not on my list, but my number 9. So it's number 9 because I didn't know that I had seen it. I clicked on it and then I was like, looking up the movies. I was like, I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know. And then finally I realized I had saw it, that wasn't. But okay, so it's 6 Underground.
Movement, man.
We have 15 minutes.
It's time.
Hit it.
Hello, boys.
And I remember that I did enjoy it when I finally remembered that I watched it, but because I couldn't remember much about it, it couldn't go up there, but I know that it gave me a good experience. So that's good. And I think it was a pretty highly rated movie as well. Maybe on you guys' list?
I saw the trailer for it. Does that count?
I've seen it. It's decent action. Yeah.
Good action movie. Yeah, for action, I think that's where. Yeah.
I know Ryan Reynolds is in it, and that's it.
I think Yavanek's number 9 choice, like he's kept it to himself, is going to be really controversial.
No, I don't think this is controversial. Well, it might be controversial given how low it is actually, because I feel I'm not sure if Hamza's seen it, but I'm almost 100% sure that it's on both Nigel and Nebi's list. It's Knives Out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request that you all stay until the investigation is completed.
What? Can we ask why? Has something changed?
No.
No, it hasn't changed, or no, we can't ask.
Knives Out. This is on my list.
What number?
It's not my number 1 because I said my number 1 was an Avengers. Stay tuned. Or not an Avengers. It's a Marvel movie. I mean, but my number 2 spot is Knives Out because it was a good movie. It was.
It was a really good movie.
It was really good. It was like no other. It was good. Had a great story. Like the story was amazing. And for a movie, it's not like your action movie or like that, but it's the story, and that's what counts. So that's why that's so high up there. It was a good movie.
What number, Hamza?
I could have sworn I put this on my list, but I don't see it.
Okay. Nebi?
I put it at number 6.
Okay. I'm kind of surprised by that. Yeah,
Can I give it like a tie with another number because I forgot to put it on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's fine.
I will. Then give it number 6.
Okay. Hey. T.
Same.
Nebi, I want to start off with you because when we originally, the first time you had watched it, I think it might have been for the Rewatchability podcast or right afterwards. You were super high on this.
Yeah, this movie was amazing. It was actually really shocking. I understand why Nigel loved it so much, but then I looked back at this movie, and the one problem I had with it was the twist you could see from a mile away.
Oh no.
The twist,
Well,
like literally,
actually, yeah,
like,
probably.
It was when you rewatch it,
I mean,
you're like, wow, how did I not see that?
That's what a good film does.
But that's
because
exactly.
Have you guys? I know Hamza's seen Fight Club.
Yeah.
Have you rewatched Fight Club, or you've only seen it once?
I believe I haven't rewatched it fully. But
whenever you do eventually rewatch it, it's just like it's one of the movies where you're like, "There's how did I not realize that was the twist?" And that's the same thing with Knives Out. When I rewatched it, I was like, it's so meticulously made where it's kind of obvious that it's the twist when you come back, but it is not when originally. Like Nebby, if it was that obvious, how come you didn't know it the first time?
It's like so elaborate that it's obvious that it's not obvious.
Well, no, the thing is,
well put, Nigel.
The only reason I didn't know who like exactly it would be was because I thought this person would be too obvious to pick. Like he was obviously the killer. And I was like, they wouldn't pick it, and they wouldn't make the guy who's the killer so obvious that I already know who it is. So I was like, they can't make it this bad, to where I would know it's this bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't know why they did that. They could have picked anyone else to kill him.
But it's one of the better scripts from last. Just like the story itself is just one of the better ones. And we're not going to speak too much on this because we've spoken a whole bunch on the Rewatchability podcast about this one.
Right.
Moving on to number 8, since I went last, I'll start off with number 8 since Hamza's also already mentioned it. I have The Irishman.
Frank Sheeran. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you said right.
Under the contract, management can only fire a driver on very specific charges. So, you ever show up late?
No.
Do you have any moving violations?
No.
Do you drink on the job?
No.
You ever hit anybody?
On a job?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right, then. We don't have nothing to worry about.
Have Nigel and Nebby, have you seen The Irishman?
No, I don't believe so. Let me make sure about that.
I feel like you'll remember seeing it because it's 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
The Irishman...
Irishman.
Before I go into that, I wanted to ask Hamza one more question because he was not able to join us for the Goodfellas one. And that one, we asked where Goodfellas was on Scorsese's just pantheon of all-time greats. Like, is it his best? Is it up there?
I would say it's his best.
Okay. Outside of that, since we are on the topic of The Irishman, where do you think it is on there? What do you think? Yeah, like, how low down is it, or how medium, or wherever?
I'd say out of the I've only ever seen good movies from him.
Mm-hmm.
So out of his good movies, it would be on the lower side.
Okay.
Like, what's a movie of his that you would rank below The Irishman?
I'm not sure if you would agree with this. I would put Mean Streets below The Irishman.
I didn't consider that one of his good movies. I'd say that's an average movie. But yeah,
I didn't really like Mean Streets.
The best part about Mean Streets was when they were all fighting each other.
Yeah,
right?
that's like probably the only good part. If you remember, I absolutely hate the soundtrack for that movie. I feel like it's right before Scorsese realized, like you know how there's self-actualization. It was like right before that with his soundtracks, because Scorsese's soundtracks are very him, and there it's just out of place throughout. I did not like it. But here, I know the length is probably the most controversial part about this, and this is gonna sound contradictory again. There's definitely like an hour, maybe not an hour, but maybe like 30 minutes that could be taken out of this. I'm not sure.
That's the reason why it's only in my honorable mentions.
But I'm personally not sure if I would want those 30 minutes out of it. I liked, from what I remember when I was watching it, I liked the whole thing. And the length is pretty evident, but it's not like super evident. Well, on that note, actually, I remember reading. If you remember, there's just a specific scene with Harvey Keitel and Al Pacino. I don't know who that is. I don't know what character he plays. He was in Mean Streets. He was the main character of Mean Streets.
Oh, that's that guy? Okay,
yeah, Harvey Keitel, and then he was also in Taxi Driver. There's Harvey Keitel and Al Pacino, And there's a scene with them that's maybe like 5
Man,
or 10
who
minutes.
did Happy Keitel play in The Irishman?
I don't know. But as I'm searching this up, there's a scene in there that's maybe like 5 to 10 minutes long that Scorsese added just because he thought that because they never had a scene together throughout the entire careers. He was just like, I have to add that just to have them on screen together. That kind of like perfectly encapsulates what you're saying, where it is too long. There's a good amount that can be taken out of it. I'm not sure if I want it taken out. I enjoyed the whole thing. In going back to The Hateful, I'm more keen on rewatching this over The Hateful Eight.
Really? Honestly, The Hateful Eight is
personal.
Probably my favorite, or one of my favorite Tarantino movies, and I know that's controversial.
Yeah, that's real. That probably is definitely a personal thing, but I don't know why. I just remember really, really liking this one. And filmmaking wise, I don't think it's really that arguable how great this is on a filmmaking level. Where I mean, would you argue against that, Hamza?
I'd put this in my top 10 list if it weren't for the fact that I clearly remember that there were some parts where I yawned out of boredom.
Oh, okay. I totally get that. But outside of that, I think it's a really good one. Definitely not his best gangster movie. It's a great film.
Like, I wouldn't say don't watch it.
I wouldn't say watch it either. That's weird, actually. Well, Nebby.
Yeah.
I know Goodfellas was your first mafia movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I would say if you do decide to watch this, I would say wait a little bit before you do watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think you would like it if you watched it right now, but I think you would like it much more if you waited.
Yeah. Bro, I tried to watch The Godfather, but you cannot pirate that movie, bro. It's not anywhere.
You can pirate anything, that you just gotta know.
No joke, I did.
Bro, that movie.
I remember you did that, Yavin.
I didn't. Yeah, he saw me like in school downloading it.
What?
Billy also.
Yeah, man. You can pirate anything off of anything.
Oh, you downloaded it though. That's dangerous, bro.
Oh no, not on the app that I use. I'll give you the app that I use. Nebby, number 8. Let's go.
Man, I've been twisting my list. Okay, number 8. Hold on, let me take it back together.
You want me to come back to you?
Yeah, go ahead, Nigel.
All right. My number 8 is Angel Has Fallen.
Banny's on his way.
What is that? Are they bats?
The drones! The drones! Don't move! Don't move! I'm coming to you! They're coming at you, Mark! Get him in the water camp! Go! So, I got you. Going under. Dive deep.
Which apparently there are other ones like related. I didn't really know until after.
Okay, before you say anything, watch at least Olympus Has Fallen because I think it's exponentially better than Angel Has Fallen.
Okay.
Not exponentially,
Really?
but much better than Angel Has Fallen.
Really, that's the one that I saw, and just looking it up, I saw there's like London Has Fallen. I was like, what? But yeah, Angel Has Fallen. I actually just recently watched that, and it was really good. So yeah, and it's on Netflix.
This might sound disrespectful. Like not to like you, but maybe like to the movie. I remember I watched the first 2. The first one I really liked. The second one, I found it just super repetitive. The third one, I could not get through the first 5 minutes.
Which one is that?
This one, Angel Has Fallen. I couldn't get through the first 5 minutes.
Well, I actually didn't watch the first 5 minutes. I didn't watch like the first 20 minutes, maybe even longer. I came in.
Maybe it got better.
Maybe it just maybe it was just that, I came in like after the beginning, and my parents filled me in, and then I watched it and I was like, it was a pretty good movie. And I guess since it was recent, it's fresh on my mind. So that's why it's kind of high up. But
Definitely great action though. I can't argue against that.
and it's on Netflix, so like if you have Netflix, you can just watch it for free. You know?
Maybe I'll just go ahead and skip the first 20 minutes and watch the rest.
Yeah.
Hamza,
What position is this? Number 8?
number 8.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, I think Yabanek might be the only one. I don't even know if he's seen this. I think I talked to him about it, though.
Mhm.
And I doubt that this is in anyone's top list of 2019. It's Hotel Mumbai.
Chaos has erupted in Mumbai with multiple bombings and armed gunmen rampaging through the city.
Let them in! Look, I don't think you understand. There's been an attack and we're not safe.
Oh, I actually, it's interesting that you say that because the first time we talked to each other about this is when I came back. You know how you used to ask me on Mondays what you watched over the weekend?
Mhm.
It's when I came back and I was like, oh, I watched Hotel Mumbai. This is on my list. I think it just fell out of my honorable mentions. Like maybe it was like 22.
Yeah, Hotel Mumbai. Well, I watched it in the movie theater.
I did too. Wait, I think I did.
And I think that made the experience much, much better than if I were not to watch it in the movie theater. And it's one of the few movies in a while, well, since then, in a while, that has really kept me on the edge of my seat throughout the whole film.
Mhm.
It was nail-bitingly intense. And
Yeah.
I love movies where it's like set in one location, you know?
Mhm.
And having the attention keep it up, like Reservoir Dogs or 12 Angry Men. This is
Oh, yeah.
kind of the same, and I don't know. It just made it much more intense. That intensity is really what made this movie as good as it is.
That's actually why I have it kind of low. I feel like outside of the action and the intensity, I'm not sure how great it is. Like I feel like outside of that, it's just average. And now that I kind of heard you say that, you bringing up the intensity, I think I would move it up. It might like actually fall in like the 15, 16 area. I think I would definitely have it over Joker, but not in my top 10. I was a great movie though. I can't lie. I would definitely rewatch it. That's one that I would watch just for that intense experience.
Yeah, I watched it with my grandmother, and I remember I remember when we left the movie theater, she was like, "Wow, I've never seen such a movie with that was this intense."
It's nice.
Something along those lines. And she was freaking gasping for breath.
I was looking it up, and it said 2018, and so I was confused at first.
Oh no,
but
we're
the
going by US release
date.
date. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebelolul.
Yeah, I found out then, but guess what it is, but number 8.
Uh-huh.
John Wick 3.
I say the odds are about even. Doc, 5 seconds.
John Wick, excommunicado in effect in 3,
2,
1.
and away we go.
And we saw it with the boys.
Actually, before you say that, before you speak, Nigel, where is it on your list? I know it's on both of your lists.
It's an honorable mention.
Oh, it was, yeah. Hamza, it's on your list.
Yeah, it's number 5.
Speaking of intensity, go ahead, Nebi.
The first one or the second one. So I had to like ask a lot of questions while watching the movie. That's never good, but I was able to like enjoy it still, even though like half the time I couldn't watch it because it was so gruesome. Some of the scenes.
I was sitting next to Andrew throughout this whole movie, which we were just making jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
Especially, do you guys know who Boban is? The first like super big dude that he fights.
Yeah.
We were making so many jokes. It's great though.
Yeah.
Same boat. I went in without seeing the first two. Still great, and I've seen the first two since. I still think it's the best of the 3.
Yeah, number 3 is the best. I slept through the second one.
Really?
But
shoot.
Yeah.
Everybody
This
says
one,
number
I
one.
thought after seeing the second one, well, I watched the first one, right? And then I watched the second one. But the second one was more of the same, so I got kind of bored and I slept. I was probably also really tired. But then the third one happened. I was tired, so I was worried I was going to sleep again. But it was really, really good. Like, especially my favorite fight scene. I like the last one with the glass room.
Oh, that one's wonderful.
That's cool.
And
They were
the first one with the knives and all the melee weapons.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was fantastic. And it was nonstop action the whole way through. There's hardly any exposition. It's just diving straight into it. And I usually am not the type of person to like action movies, but this and Hotel Mumbai are exceptions.
To hear more about John Wick 3, you can check out our first ever podcast, the most exciting one. That was actually the first one that we ever did.
I just real quick wanted to say that's kind of why it was my honorable mention, just because I hadn't seen the other two, so the fight scenes were very different. Although they were very good, they were long and it's just different. So that's why.
Some people say that the ending was bad.
I don't think it was bad. I mean, it kind of falls into the current day thing of setting up a whole universe. But I'm excited to see the fourth one. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical of how good it will be.
Have you ever seen Cyberpunk? I heard about it. The John Wick movie or video game.
That's a video game.
Yeah,
I was like, are you talking about a video game or?
What about Cyberpunk, Nebby?
I mean, basically just it's basically like a John Wick video game. But like, that's all. Come back to me.
As a heads up, real quick, I might have to go around 10 minutes.
I understand my nigga shit is baby. Keep away from home, never let them get too close. Nah, see, no time for drama. Ain't the same way it was. Strutting like it's nothing, hit the button, I'm a feeling buzz. Ooh.